Hi, I'm Morgan from the YMCA, and this week we're going to be learning about how our hands work. So specifically, we're going to learn how our joints and our tendons allow our fingers to move and for us to grip things and, make peace signs. So let's go ahead and get started. You are going to need a couple things in order to do this. Number one, you're going to need some cardboard. The thinner, the better. So if you have an empty cereal box, or I had some old folders that were all torn up, I used those. You're going to need some scissors and a utility knife. If you're using a utility knife, please do so with parent help because it is very sharp and you could hurt yourself. You will also need some straws. And they can really be whatever size you want. They can just be, giant drinking straws, or they can be the kind you get at McDonald's. You will also need some string or yarn, so you can also use ribbon, you can use fishing line, you can use yarn. I had some twine laying around that I needed to use, so that is what I ended up using, just some kind of string-like item. You also need 5 rubber bands. You're going to need either some hot glue, which if you're going to use this, make sure you have parent supervision, or you can use regular liquid glue. Just know that you're going to have to wait in between steps for the liquid glue to completely dry. And then last, you'll need a pencil. So step number 1 is you are going to take the cardboard and trace your hand on the cardboard and then cut it out completely. After you've done that, label the hand with a front and a back. So I did my left hand, so I labeled this side the front. That's where I'm going to see my actual pieces, and then I labeled this side the back. Your next step is that you are going to, on both sides, mark where your knuckles are with a pencil. This is so you know where you need to cut some things and where your fingers should actually bend when we get through it. So we'll go through both pieces. On the back, all right, on the back, when you do your pencil marks, you're then going to either use your scissors or your box cutter, and you're going to cut along where the knuckles should be, and this will actually allow the fingers to bend like they're supposed to on your hand. Then you're going to flip back to the front, and we're going to start attaching our straws and our string and all of that. So your first step is you are going to take a straw, and you're going to measure it. You want it to run from the tip of the finger all the way down to the wrist, so you are going to need to trim up the straws, and then you are going to either hot glue or liquid glue it in place. Okay, so first we trim, then we're going to glue it down, and remember, if you're using liquid glue, it has to dry completely before you move on to the next step. Then, once you've got it all glued down, and it's nice and secure, where you mark the knuckles on the front, you're also going to cut the straws. The straws are representing your actual bones in your finger at this point. And it's not one solid bone in your hand, okay? You've got all these little bones. So you're going to cut at where your knuckles would be, where your joints are, so that your fingers bend properly. All right, next step. You want to measure out some string or twine or yarn, whatever it is that you're using. You want enough so that it sticks out of both ends of the straw. So I just measured a little bit. I held it up to my hands. I measured, and then I just cut like that. All right. And then you're going to actually lace it through the straw so that you've got an end hanging out here down at the bottom, and you've got an end that's hanging out at the top. Now the string or whatever it is that you're using represents the tendons that actually move the joints inside your hand. So you've got your hand, you've got the straw representing your bones, and then you have the string and the rubber bands are going to be representing your tendons. Next step, almost done. You're going to take your rubber bands, and you are very carefully going to cut them in half. So you've got one nice long rubber band, and you're going to tie one end to the top of your string that's coming out of the straws. And then the other end, you're going to hot glue or glue with liquid glue to the back of the hand. Now you want to make sure it's nice and secure on there, so let it dry completely before you try the next step. All right, we've got all that done. Now I can actually bend my fingers and they'll move like they would on my hand. All right, so this is your makeshift, easy to do robotic hand that's going to explain how your joints and your tendons work. Please, if you have any pictures or take any videos of your hand, please do share with us. We do want to see how your magnificent robotic hands turn out. So thank you for watching, and if you want to show us how you did, you can share in the comments below or use the hashtag GWRYMCASTEAM, and that'll let us see you on social media. And also don't forget, if you have questions or you have ideas for future videos, also put them in the comments below or use the hashtag, and maybe we'll do a video on them in the future. So thank you for watching, and have a great day. Have some fun.